Once again, it's time to build something stupid and hopefully overpowered. First, we need to choose our pieces. These ones look very chaotic, plus it comes with an axe tower, and that just sounds hilarious. The axe will always critically hit monsters with more than 80% HP I'm in. And to begin, we're going to take the top route because that's going to take us to a harder route where we're hopefully going to get better stuff. Pretty straightforward to start. All the idiots have to pass through this point where we have greater attack tile boost. But we also have one up here that we're going to use, and then we're going to put an axe tower, not right there. Actually, that's not going to work because I don't think it can reach. Actually, it absolutely can. It can reach and destroy everything there. So it's doing 20 damage now instead of 10. To utilize this one, I've got to push the enemies maybe closer in here. They have a shorter route than they otherwise would. That's okay. We're going to put a cannon tower there. That's going to take care of most of everything here. I could probably find another way to annoy them or disrupt them, kind of like that. We're going to try a drone tower down here, and that's going to protect this little area. And then we're going to let the idiots come in and get us. I really want to see this axe tower work. Hopefully it's maxed out on the spider. Yeah, it's smacking something, 30. There was a big hit. Oh yeah, critical hits things with full health. The drone tower is kind of working against that now, but this thing's going to try its best. The drone tower actually seems pretty good, so I'm just going to go like that for now, and we're going to put a drone tower down on here, and that's going to help clean up this area. And I'm going to try and steer the idiots up that way a little bit more so I can more take advantage of this. Because then up here, I can also put a big chopping axe, and we'll move that into better and better locations. It only goes in one direction, so you got to be careful, but we'll put it right there. And then we're ready to start. So this one's also going to do 20, but it's also going to crit a lot. Plus, we can upgrade them. And I'm going to do that extra 6 damage, so now it's doing 32, 48 on the crits. So it's one-shotting bumblebees, and it actually attacks pretty fast. The other one I'm going to increase the fire rate on, that way it can just attack a little bit quicker. But so far the saw blades are working wonders. Next I'm straight up going to block this off, that way all the idiots have to come past the saw blade of doom. But I kind of like the way it feels, placing these right here. So they're going to smack right down that entire path, just like that. That way they get the better part of both paths. This one's going to get a more fire rate. I'm going to put a cannon tower back over here, just in case something does slip through. I want these guys to hit things with 100% health. I'm also going to upgrade the other cannon tower's fire rate, just so if something does slip by, we're ready for them. So here come the next wave of spiders. I think the axe towers are really going to do a number on these. They are surviving some of these hits, not the big axe tower, but the small axe tower. But we made that wave look quite easy. Maybe we're going to increase the drone damage and fire rate, at least this one. This other one is going to get a fire for the detection range and flying speed. And since the axes just seem really funny, we're going to get a few more of those and just place them around where they're just going to smash whatever they want. Okay, I put axes everywhere. Whatever comes through, like wolves, should get axed to death quite quickly. It's just a line of chopping. Everything's going to get chopped to bits. Something did make it through, but it didn't get anywhere close to being harmful. Oh, here comes a big spider. I guess this first one's going to do a crit, and that's perfectly okay, because it just got absolutely chopped up. Oh, they explode into smaller spiders once they get past there, but we've cleared them out as well. Just to be sure nothing gets through, we're just going to put cannon towers all around over here. And while I'm at it, let's maybe extend so the enemies have to go way further to get to me. This is the cannon tower side of the map, so anything that gets past the chopping gets cannoned. This is wave 5 or 6. So far the wolves are trying to make it through. Oh, we got the big wolf coming in. This will be good. The big choppy thing will definitely take advantage of him. He's slow. Okay, he made it through without taking much damage, so hopefully Cannon Alley is up to the task of taking him out. Oh yeah, we're good here. There is a second one coming down, but I also picked up a treasure chest. I don't like these temporary boosts. I like more like this, where you get a poison or a fire boost. The big wolf is defeated. I did get another one of these again. I like more permanent upgrades, so we're going to take that one to the speed room. I'm going to put this one right here. So whatever tower's on that gets a 50% attack speed boost. We're going to put it right there. That way anything walking down gets a big critical hit, and this thing's going to chop fast. I'm just going to place a few pieces here and there just to make sure the enemies have to go a little bit further to actually get to me. Should probably also upgrade the damage of all these bomb towers I placed everywhere. Otherwise, they're not really that good. So for the final wave, I basically added one new tower, which enemies don't seem to be spawning in anyway. But here comes one of the big ones. Oh, there we go. Now they're coming in. So the chopper's going away, knocking the wolf's HP down. That big wolf's going to slam pretty soon. Luckily, he's still going to walk through a whole bunch of towers. He can slam all he wants up here. He's taking damage non-stop. Right, this looks like it's going to be a pretty easy victory. This guy's going to come in and get really chopped up as well. See, this is where I need a slowing tower. That way when they go into the axe zone, they get slowly chopped up. I got excited because there was a chomp tower, which is kind of like an axe tower, but with more damage. Then I saw the boulder tower. 45 damage in an area, launches massive rocks, causes damage in an area, and briefly stuns opponents. Then I'm going to choose Adventurer's Legacy here, receive an additional 20 gold coins at the start of each level. That's going to give me a nice boost. So this next one, we're going to have only 2 paths of enemies coming in so far, so that should be easy enough to defend. So to start, I'm going to go with just a boulder tower. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to give it a try. It gets a range boost and it does big damage. Now we're out of money. But that should probably be fine. Given the range it has, it should start landing on idiots right away and make us enough money to buy a single other tower. Speaking of which, we should probably make space for a single other tower. We're going to go with a drone tower on this. We need something quick firing. Then I think I need to plug off over there because if I want to place something here, it pushes them all that way anyway. Well, we're going to go like this instead. That way the enemies get closer to this, and this is going to be where we put one of our axe towers. We just need to put a piece for that down. Okay, I've reformed things over here a little bit, especially if I can get that to sit like that, because now the enemies have to walk past the saw blade in both directions. And they're going to be stunnable there too, so hopefully something can get stunned and they can just get axed to death the whole time. The drone's also flying out there, taking out whatever it can, but the axe so far is one-shotting all sorts of things, so we're going to give it more damage, so it's going to do even more. That was actually really, really easy. So let's see what else we could do to make a mess of this. We're going to put more drone towers in because these have a lot of range. They're just very easy to put up. Plus my boulder tower needs to be upgraded for $71. The tower now fires a massive arcane crystal that damages surrounding monsters for 3 seconds after impact. So in comes the next wave of idiots. The little drones by themselves can almost take care of those. These drones are actually really, really strong. So we're going to give them their $24 upgrades and they're well worth it. That was so easy I didn't even notice the wave ended. And since I'm allowed to put them way out here even, I'm going to put a drone tower here. That's going to get extra range. We're going to upgrade that. It's going to pick on things way out there. Then I think up here, I'm actually going to save up for another boulder tower. Because boulder towers are really just going to do a lot. Especially if they can land and do their arcane damage and stun things right here, which is perfect because they get stunned and then chopped mercilessly. The drones are working great too because they're absolutely destroying everything, being annoying little bees. I'm going to put a massive block on there because that's funny. Then we're going to put this guy over here. He's also going to get upgraded to arcane crystal. This one's probably just going to get a cannon tower because of where it's sitting. It's going to have some pretty good range on it. We're going to upgrade its damage and range as well. And then a drone tower maybe here, just where it's going to be sure to hit anything that does slip through. Not that I'm expecting that to happen. I can actually stun things way out here, so that's great too. We got a big wolf coming in. Hopefully he gets arcaned and paused at a good spot. He's actually making a long ways in, but his health is definitely melting now. Perfect. So I'm thinking mostly what I need is more of these boulder towers, because they're destroying everything in a hurry. Well, since we can afford it, we're going to do just that. And that way they can't all get stunned to death either. And to be mean, I'm going to put a chopper tower over here and a chopper tower over here with a quicker fire rate. Final wave coming in, where the big wolves are going to be the biggest problem we're faced with, but I think the chopper over there is going to knock them down. This chopper's especially, yeah, we're melting that big thing right here. Yeah, between the cannon towers and the chopper, we're just destroying anything with any HP at all. The little spiders made it as far as there. There's the final big wolf. He managed to stun the towers, but the drones fly too far. He can't stun them. They have anti-wolf technology. Now we're going to get a gambling tower, giant dice tower. The number you roll determines the attack rate of the tower. Then we're going to do wealth vault because this one could actually compound into big stuff. At the start of each round, you earn interest equal to 10% of your current gold. Anyway, this is the level we've done before, so we know how to play it. We just need to start the enemies going side to side somewhere, so we're going to start right up there. We're going to give them a drone tower, because that's going to start on them almost right away with extra damage and fire rate. And we're going to make sure there's lots of twists and turns for them along the way. So they get a cannon tower. It's going to get extra damage and range. That way we can rain down on them. Then we have $17 left, so one more little tower somewhere. We're maybe going to force them over like that, because we'll get lots of range out of that. That'll work. So let's see, the enemies are spawning way up there. I got to zoom out just to see them at this point. The first wave is always quite easy. That, in fact, was it. This one we're going to have as an investment. We need $2 more to get the boulder tower. And we're also going to get the giant dice tower, but we're going to put it somewhere like here. We just need the room for it. So giant dice tower is going there. Now every time it rolls, depends its attack rate. So far it's at 14 per second because it rolled a 14 out of 20. And we can upgrade it so it rolls for damage as well. That's such a fun tower. I'm just going to give them one more little jog there, so they got to go past that a little bit harder like. And actually if I plug this and this, I'll have to go around past another one. I think that's the point of this build. I've got so much damage up front though that I don't know if we'll have to rely on that next tower or not. Ooh, we get to see the dice tower in action. Here it goes. Oh yeah, I forgot about the... Oh yeah, I've upgraded so this can do a little bit of damage as well. Yeah, I want to roll again so we get extra damage out of this. So 4 plus 4, that's a good one. It even gave me a smiley. So it's now doing 5 damage 14 times a second. So I'm going to put up my arcane tower at this point. Can't quite afford the upgrade for it yet, but that's going to be a lot of damage. Then we're going to start plugging holes. So if I put one there, now the idiots have to go around past this tower and eventually they'll come all the way around, or I could loop them back around in all sorts of fun waves. Instead of that, we're just going to let them get started and destroy them. So the boulder tower is destroying them. This guy is going to be an absolute destroyer. Yep, he's making a mess of them. Here comes a big spider. Is he even going to make it? The dice tower hardly even got to touch him. Oh, there we go. That's better. And since the enemies have piled up so much at the beginning, we're going to throw a boulder tower down over there just to make sure we're hurting them. And they're also going to get the arcane crystal boost because it's going to hit a whole wad of enemies here and they all have to walk through that. Then at the beginning, I'm mostly just going to annoy them and have them walking back and forth as much as possible. That's just going to slow them down a touch. So here they come. Now they've all got to walk through the arcane as well. And I should put a dice tower up here. The enemies aren't really making it that far yet. They're getting better. We just need a longer path. I opened up a chest and we got this, a damage rune. I'm going to stick that right here because that's going to be another dice tower for us. That only rolled an 8, so that's not super good roll. The dice will be re-rolled at the end of each round is tempting. Yeah, we're going to do that. That way it won't stay at 8 forever, it'll do a better roll. And I'm just going to coax the enemies to have to go around a little bit more here. We'll buy another thing for this soon. Then I'm going to buy another one of these towers because I can actually upgrade it again. We're going to get the rolling boulder this time. Just because the enemies are so bunched up here, it's a shame not to have this AoE landing here. It's not the straightest shot. I thought the boulder would follow the path. I think it just kind of rolls in whatever direction it's facing, but it still helps. The enemies are having lots of trouble getting past here. Even once they do, they've got to contend with this tower and then the super dice tower. The AoE is absolutely crushing those things. The red squirmy things made it a little bit further, but not far enough to actually be any sort of problem whatsoever. And to make sure of that, we're going to put another dice tower in. And then what did we roll there? Is that an 18? That's a super roll. All right, now we need a good damage roll. What did we get? 5 and 5? That's a super tower. So that's doing 7 damage 18 times a second. So I'm going to put a few more pieces in to make sure the idiots are staying against that tower for as long as possible. Aside from that, I'm just going to add more boulder towers because these just seem like they're really overpowered. Because I'm pretty sure things are going to escalate. Like we already have a giant hornet flying in. He seems to be a little bit tougher. Any wave could be the last because it can just get much, much harder. But the AoE over here, especially the burning on the ground, is doing real wonders. I don't know if things are even going to make it to my new super dice tower, which is actually sad because this is a really lucky roll to get. And so far, nothing's going to... Maybe the spiders to pop out of this, but they're still in for a lot of trouble. Nope, they're dead. So I guess just more of these towers. They only cost $80 and I get lots of money. I already forgot I had the investment thing, but we have $71. It's a final wave and this costs $71. It's too neat of a fit. I think our damage is overkill at this point. So far we just got too much AoE going down. As long as I get the enemies to bunch up a little bit, we'll absolutely destroy them with our big towers. And then we're still finding things like this, an explosion rune. The monster killed by the tower on it explode and cause 10 fire area damage. Like that would just cause a giant chain reaction here. That's actually really funny, so we'll see if we can make that happen. So that tower is also firing. It can fire as far as here, so I think if it manages to kill something here, we'll get a fiery explosion, if I was understanding that correctly. And this looks like the end of the wave. We didn't even get to see our super dice tower in action. I got a nice square tile. I'm going to put a greater damage rune on this. That's basically going to double the power of whatever tower is on. A snowball tower sounds fun. So does a decimate tower. Hammer tower does 50 damage. These are all fun. I think it's time for something that slows enemies. This one's going to be a corrupted battle, so there's places we're not allowed to build. That shouldn't really be a big factor for us. The first thing I'm going to do is put our greater damage rune thing maybe right here, so the enemies all have to walk right past big damage, which is probably going to be a giant dice tower, just because I'm a gambler. That landed on 14 damage, so that's pretty good. This is also level with the minecart, so I'm going to put a drone tower on there, and I'm going to put a drone tower on one of the other ones as well. That way they'll circle around and hit things. The drone towers have lots of range. They'll circle around intermittently, but when they do show up, they'll be a problem. And that guy's doing plenty of damage already. So let's roll for the dice damage. It's currently at 4 damage. That was not a good roll at all, so we just halved the damage of it. I should actually sell that, but we'll leave it there. I also got a range boost tile, so we're going to throw that down here, and then we're going to throw something good on top of that. Maybe actually just a drone tower, regular kind. I really need to remember my gold will add up, so I should start saving it between rounds. The dice tower is going to go crazy. I do think I actually want to sell this and re-roll it. 14 was a good first roll, but the damage kind of boned it. We can't sell it for very much money, but we don't necessarily need to. I know I keep saying I should save up some money, but I also want enough power to not get destroyed every 10 seconds. But so far damage seems to be holding up. Our dice tower is still reasonably strong. Even though it was one low roll, it's still very good. Enemies are making it a little bit closer than I would like them to be. So we might just have to let them get close for now. Got him. I'm maybe going to block up this one side, but I'm also going to put one of these here, because that's just going to hit a lot of things, and then we're going to block off like this entirely. That way enemies have to come all the way around eventually. Like we could block that off already. and force them to come all the way up past the bomb tower with increased fire rate. Almost all the while they're going to be in range of this tower. We got some faster wolves and stuff coming in. I do need that snowball tower somewhere over here as well. Ooh, we get an attack speed boost here too. So far we're destroying these enemies, and the snowball tower sits on a 2x2, so we're going to make that work in combination probably with the attack speed. The snowball tower is going here. It's got increased attack speed, so it's going to go quick. Deals 100% additional damage to the primary target, or it increases the damage radius by 50%. I mostly want it for its slowing effect. Also, we're going to upgrade this other tower to have the arcane thing. I'm hoping we can just slow things and wreck them right here. So that seems to be working. That snowball is actually huge. It lands and slows everything right down where they're going to get destroyed. Plus, I got a greater damage rune. That can go somewhere right here to make things go a little bit quicker. We're going to throw a dice tower down here. It rolled an 11. But if we do this for damage, we got a really low damage roll again. Well, that's not going to matter. We've got so much damage going out anyway, a low roll isn't going to hurt us. The enemies did make it to here, so we're going to have to do a little bit better there. I'm actually going to sell this dice tower and we're going to try that again. Hopefully luck's on our side this time. 14's pretty good. We're going to upgrade that for a 2 and... well, that's nothing a little bomb tower won't solve. That's going to sit on damage and poison. Not sure if it gets the benefit of both, but it does do 51 damage to start. Not a lot of strategy needed at this point. We just basically funnel everything together and hit them with AoE. That thing's going to actually stun a lot of my towers if it bangs the ground there. Shouldn't matter though. We can just keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. The enemies are getting a little close, so we're going to add another one of these towers just because I can't help myself. And yeah, I've slowed it down so I could extend the path a little bit for all these idiots. I don't think I have any electric towers, but I do have something like, I don't know, a drone tower can launch from there. And we haven't had an axe tower in a while actually, because these do critical hits to things with max HP, so they're actually better at the beginning of rounds. And this is what I mean by the escalation. You'll be doing fine, and then suddenly one wave is so much harder that something walks right through your defenses. So I'm going to put a chopper hopefully on the outside so we can start chopping on things for critical hits. It's not a huge increase, but it's an increase that we're going to use. Then I just added assorted towers over here. We're about out of money, so we're going to let the wave go. I'm hoping the chopper up here is enough to soften up some of the strong things. That way they take quite a bit of damage before getting to the core of our everything. I'm going to try and watch this one slower though, so I can have a better idea of what's going on. I feel like part of the problem was we got bad rolls on the dice tower. At least that's what I'm going to blame it on. And probably just not having enough of these big guys. So far this seems to be a little better, and there's another $71 for another big tower. We're going to put more of these big towers everywhere we can. Yeah, see a couple towers, that's all the difference in the world. Nothing's getting anywhere close to me anymore. The choppers might have helped too, just to knock some of the HP down. Stage clear, and we got one of these we put 2 runes on. Builds up to 5 free scrap towers on the block. That sounds fine, and greater range. Why not? The sniper tower is also what we need. It does 70 base damage. Then we're going to get debugging encyclopedia, have the duration of malfunction effects like stun on my towers, and then their damage is up by 10% afterwards. I'm now also going to buy Ice Storm. When you kill a monster affected by chill effect, that basically spreads to other idiots around. Which brings us to this level. Right away, I think I'm going to put one of my massive towers down. Maybe that's a bad idea. I'm going to plug so these guys have to come from one side only. So they're all going to have to funnel through here, and this is where I'm going to start my defense. Which is essentially just going to be a couple drone towers and a cannon tower. That's going to be more than enough to get us started. Because we're saving up for the big fun towers. We're basically fighting cherries at the beginning. They're very weak. Even my little drone towers that do no damage can absolutely wreck them. The wave is done. The sniper tower actually could almost go there. Because of all that damage, it's probably better off going somewhere on like that window. So we'll put it there. We're going to put it there so those guys get pushed over. Sniper tower goes there. And I'm going to put a cannon tower over here just to soften up this lane, and a cannon tower here also to soften up that lane. And the sniper tower is going to focus highest HP. It does 88 damage, so it's probably going to be wrecking. Wow, those things are coming in quick. Okay, we need a little more defense over on this side apparently. Yeah, we'll throw down something in a moment. Okay, there's a greater damage rune here. I need these guys to take a little bit of a longer route to get to me. We're going to throw a giant dice tower down here. That's still going to be able to hit everything, but this lane's clearly the hardest so far. That's a 12. That's not bad. We're going to reroll damage. Big roll. And since this lane over here seems to be the most problematic so far, I'm going to put this junk tower thing down right over here somewhere just to get them some extra damage that I don't really have to pay for. I think I'm actually going to throw it down like that because there's a bunch of towers They don't do super good, but they'll absolutely make a dent out of those guys. I also want to saw these guys really hard, so we'll turn the damage up on there as quick as we can. 6 damage is going to be a lot when they crit. Then we're maybe going to go back to regular speeds so I can see what's actually happening to try and stop enemies from making it all the way in because they're getting close again. There's something called a Stinger Hornet that seemed to have a health bar, not sure why, but it got wrecked. We're saving up a bit of money again, so I'm going to try and upgrade some things. Damage and range on you, fire rate on you. These are pretty cheap upgrades, so that's why I can afford to get away with this. I need to extend these lanes. These guys are getting way too close. Here's another one of my junk tower build things. So if I put that in the right spot, that's really also going to help to make a giant mess of all the idiots coming by. So that lane's going to take a lot of damage. This is a range booster, so we're going to put one of my big towers on there, and that's going to be a giant help for just clearing out the massive idiots. I think I'm actually going to put this here. That way they have to circle all the way around to here, and this is going to be a really good focal point. Because there's spots here where I could put bigger towers to land right there, especially my snowball tower. And the junk towers are definitely whittling down things over here, and that's great because those were free. Snowball tower costs 80, and that's definitely what I'm saving up for. That explodes into smaller idiots, but I'm hoping my AoE towers will help take care of them. Snowball tower is going to go down here, and as soon as I can afford the upgrade for it, we're going to do that. It's going to have a bigger area so it can hit more idiots for slowing effect. I'm also going to put that there so idiots have to go all the way around. When they save up $80, I'm putting another one of my AoE towers up there. I guess the junk towers don't last forever because they were supposed to be here. We have a greater tile range boost there, so that's going to come in handy. We're also getting big boys now too, so we need to be careful on this wave. We're going to put one of the big towers in right here, and he's going to be a giant help. I don't like how close all the enemies are getting to my base. I think we're destroying them pretty handily, but when they're that close, it's hard to see. So I'm going to put another AoE giant cannon on that spot. That's going to give it lots of range. Then I think we got AoE in pretty good shape. After that, I think we might just need more sniper towers to be able to individually take out idiots. Maybe also another snowball tower somewhere because these guys are coming in fast. They have trouble getting past the dice tower though. That thing's really raining down some damage. This whole area is just a cluster of very cold. And that cold does spread to other idiots. I forgot about that. That guy's getting wrecked by this sniper. We have $350 suddenly, so that feels pretty good. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to build another junk tower thing right here. That's going to help slow down idiots for this wave. And we're going to put a snowball tower over here. That's going to help slow down a whole bunch of things. I kind of want to put a dice tower here to see how it performs so close. So that's an 18. That's a really good roll. 4 and 4, I'll take that. So that's going to be a really strong tower. I'm also going to put a sniper tower way over here because he can only focus on what's over here, but he's also going to eliminate that. Then I think we're ready to start. So we'll see what's coming in where. The dice tower is really actually taking care of this lane almost single-handedly. The extra sniper, the junk towers over here are actually destroying those, so he was only able to stun the junk towers. The bees are probably actually the most worrying lane, but I got so much AoE up there, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. So far, so good. The combination of towers seems to be about the right balance. We have enough AoE to take care of small things, and we have enough high damage towers to take out the big idiots. So next we're going to have 3 brood mothers, 1 hornet king, 3 werebeasts. So we're going to put a sniper over here, and he's going to take damage plus 20 instead. This one's also going to get damage plus 20. And we got one over here, damage plus 20. I think I just want a whole other sniper tower in general. That way we can be sure to take out the big things. I'm going to throw that way up there curiously. And that's going to take that one. The snipers will all focus on the big guys, and they're hitting extra hard now too. So they'll hopefully be dead before they're even a problem. And the rest of the towers, I think especially the dice towers, should really make a mockery of spiders. And as long as the AoE holds up right here, which I think it's going to, then we're going to be perfectly fine. Just in case, I'm going to throw another bomb tower down here, so we're getting lots of bombs landing there. They're constantly being arcane damaged on the ground. And I think we made that look fairly easy ultimately. This one's going to get a damage and a range boost on it, so we can pick and choose. Then we're going to take a decimate tower that's poison. We'll make that work. So now we're getting to the levels where the boss is going to show up and work his way down. These towers are going to help us, as well as the minecarts. The first thing I'm going to do is plug this hole so everyone has to come through here, and this is where we'll fight most of the idiots. So if I put that there, then we got all sorts of pieces to work with, and maybe we'll push them even further over if we can. If I put that there, I'm going to funnel the enemies that way because I can put this over here somewhere and push them that way. Then I want one of my beloved boulder towers right there, already getting extra damage. Enemies can start. I'm not doing anything to Big Boy yet because there's not much I can do. He's way up there. I think that tower might hit him very slightly, but I think the towers are more interested in the salamander guys, but they're doing a pretty good job on them anyway. I'm going to put a bomb tower down here just because it's cheap and easy. Now I got a little bit of money to work with, not much, but I do have a greater damage rune. And I think I'm actually going to put that down here in a sniper tower there as soon as I can. because he's going to start shooting the boss nice and early, and we need the boss to be hit nice and early because he's going to be quite dangerous. The wolves are coming in. Hopefully my AoE and everything is up to the task of destroying these guys. Wasn't sure about that. Looks fine to me. These guys are slower, so they'll just die to anything. Okay, there's a sniper tower going down. He's going to start firing on the boss. It's going to take a little while for that damage to accumulate. Meanwhile, down here, we're going to put a drone tower there to give that little extra range. He's going to get extra other stuff. The guys are getting close, but we're still okay. We're going to let the enemies come in a little bit closer, but we are going to start to guide them back and forth. I've also put my poison tower here. He can also focus on the boss. I'm pretty sure the boss gets poisoned. That's going to be big because he lasts forever. He's going to target most progress currently. I'm going to target highest HP because he can focus the boss then and just tickle the boss with poison damage. As for the other towers, I am going to have to add some more down here, obviously, so you're going to get a bomb tower with extra range, because that big wolf might actually make it right in. I didn't realize how hard the waves were getting already. We might still get him, but it's not going to be by a lot. We need more towers, so you go there. Anything we can afford right now has got to go down on the ground. Yeah, that wolf, I think, is going to walk in. That definitely hurt. Hopefully everything else will have under control, at least by the time we need to. It looks like we're going to be mostly okay overall. How's our progress on the boss? Well, he's getting shot and poisoned. That's just going to have to be good enough for now. I'm just adding $15 towers anywhere I can just to make sure nothing else touches our base. This is getting dangerous. Oh, here's a junk tower thing also as well. We could have laid that down to save us. At this point, I definitely think we're okay. So I'm going to add the poison tick to this as soon as we can because the boss's health is getting low. So $57 there. We got 12 gold from the vault. I'm actually going to use one of my junk towers right now to help boost ahead over there. And we still just need a lot more damage overall. So one of the dice towers is going to be my friend. And I'm going to put that right here. Dice tower's going down. Hopefully we get a very good roll. It's literally a 2. I'm going to have to resell that after this round for sure. But I can't really do anything about that for now. I am going to put some drones on the minecarts too. That's going to help because they're going to make their way around and I don't have to think very much about them. The boss's HP is going down pretty quick. He's getting real poisoned at this point, so that feels good. And the junk tower things are definitely slowing the wolves down. The wolves would be a big problem otherwise. I'm going to throw a few more pieces down in the minecarts. That's just less thinking I have to do for a minute. We got lots of idiots building up. But I think we are taking them down. The dice tower definitely helps, even though it's a low roll. I need to remember I do have things like this too, where like I can just drop that down. I always forget I can use these because I don't often use them. Okay, since he just stunned all my towers, I'm actually going to throw another junk tower in because I'm worried these guys are actually going to make it to the base. We're going to put a bomb tower here and a bomb tower up here. They're freezing everything. He's stunning my towers too hard. We are just scraping by at this point, mostly because I'm focusing so much energy on the boss. But that is going well. We could probably actually alleviate some damage on the boss, but I'm pretty sure if he dies, we win. So I'm going to put one of those there and this here. This is going to be for one of my boulder towers. He's going to sit right there and do plenty of damage. I'm also going to put a drone tower right here. He's just going to pick away at the boss as well. Then I'm out of money, so hopefully the boss dies very soon. We got a little more damage going in on him, plus my minecart things are going around, also whittling him down. And they obviously can help it along the way. Like if I put this saw tower here, it's just going to saw the boss again and again. I heard something good happen. Is the boss dead? The boss is so close to dead. Oh, we're definitely going to get this. I poisoned him to death. Using terrible strategy and just mass-powered AoE, I think we've conquered this. The boss just face planted on the ground. So now the poison and sniper can actually focus on regular units, which is a big help. And that means we win one wave early.